Peace be upon you, a new episode. How many children have been mentioned in the cradle, as recorded in history books? 7 children. But those confirmed from the prophetic biography are 3 or 4 children, because one narration is weak. So we will talk about 3 infants who spoke. The first child, of course, is our Master Jesus. Peace be upon him. At the time, Lady Mary was walking among her people carrying a child, holding him in her arms, and did not know what to do, unsure how to face the people. But the gazes of the people and their talk, which was not going to be easy, as soon as they saw her, they began to talk, whisper and murmur. And then the voice was full of anger and indignation. "Oh, Maryam, how could you bring a child without a father, O Maryam? That is a terrible thing." Madam Maryam was calm, and did not respond with a word, but pointed to the child in her arms, on the basis that he would speak. In the presence of the people, the child indeed spoke, and said, "I am Abdullah, the last of the prophets, and he made me a prophet, and made me blessed wherever I was, commanded me to pray and give alms, and to be dutiful to my mother, and he did not make me arrogant or wretched." The people stood astonished. How could a newborn child speak such words? But this was the moment that sufficed. It cuts off all doubts and proves the innocence of Lady Maryam and the exaltation of prophethood our Master Isa, peace be upon him. Our next story was in the days of the pharaohs. There was a righteous lady in those times whose job was to take care of the hair of Pharaoh's daughters. This job had a name. She was the hairdresser of Pharaoh's daughter. This is the story of this lady. And one day while she was combing the hair of Pharaoh's daughter, the comb fell from her hand accidentally, and while she was picking it up she said, "In the name of Allah." The girl nodded it, asked her, "Do you mean Allah?" The girl no roared. Then he came to her and asked her how she could say that she had a God other than him. She was firm as she replied, and she said, "God is my Lord and your Lord." Pharaoh decided to retaliate against her in the worst way. He ordered the servants to bring a large cauldron made of copper and fill it with oil, then set fire to the oil from underneath. He began to boil it and commanded to throw her and her children into the oil, but in a humiliating manner. With every child thrown in, he would ask her, "Will you renounce your Lord or not?" He would throw a child and threaten her that he would continue with the others, and indeed, he threw her children one by one into the fire. I looked for the infant that she was holding in her hands. Her heart felt weak and sensed that she might give up for the sake of her child, that infant. But the miracle happened, and the infant God made him speak. "O mother, prove that you are right." The words were a light to her, and in her darkness, a second strength. She steadied her heart and strengthened it with faith, and before she threw herself, she made one request to Pharaoh, that he gather what remained of her and her children in one grave and bury them together. And the criminal told her, "That is your right upon us. The important thing is, we execute it." The woman obeyed God's command and went to throw herself with her infant son into the boiled oil, and indeed Pharaoh buried them together. And from this grave comes a pleasant fragrance that our Prophet Muhammad has smelled. When the angel Gabriel passed by, our Prophet asked him, "I am from the Levant, with pleasant scents." So the angel Gabriel told him a story. Pharaoh's daughter was bathing the child after him, another child of the lady who was from the children of Israel, breastfeeding her son. A man riding camels passed by, and he looked majestic, a striking figure, as they say. She was impressed by his appearance, his looks, and that he was a person of stature, walking on the earth. She said, "O Allah, make my son like this man." So her son stopped breastfeeding. Basil, the man, went to her, "May God never make me like her." And he returned, returning a second time. And then one day, there was a woman whom people kept tormenting and accusing her of stealing and adultery. She went to pray to her Lord that her son would not be like that, would not be like her. Her son looked at the woman and said, "At least, O God, make me like her." She went and wondered how that was possible. The man was powerful among the powerful, but the woman was oppressed. And this is a hadith mentioned in Al-Bukhari. It is mentioned in miraculous places. Later, once upon a time, there was a man named Greg Abed, known for his asceticism and sitting alone. He lived alone in a place where he worshipped God and prayed far from the world and its pressures, focusing only on prayer every day, and he did not interact much with people. One day, during his worship, his mother came to him and called out, "Greg, Greg." Greg was deeply focused in prayer and said to himself, "Should I leave the prayer and respond to my mother or continue?" He chose prayer. "Oh." He did not answer her. She came back again running, trying to get him to respond, but he was still concentrating praying and did not answer, so he chose the prayer. 3 times with the same story. The mother, of course, got upset and went praying against him and said in the middle, "Oh Allah, do not let him die until he looks at the faces of the prostitutes," meaning the women who are not good to her. And this is dangerous. It's important because people started to talk about how this Greg is a devout person, always worshipping, and he does not talk to anyone like that. There was a famous woman, known for her beauty, but her conduct was inappropriate. It is fair to trap her, she told them. But she told the people that this child was Greg's son. The news spread, and people wrote they attacked him violently, beat him, and went to his house without any hesitation. When Greg saw the anger, he calmly said to them, "What happened, and why are you beating me?" They said to him, "You are the father of this child." He asked them to bring the child, and then we'll come back to you. So he prayed and went to the child and said to them, "Can you leave me to pray, and then I will come back to you?" So he prayed and asked a verse of child. والمفاجأة هنا إن الطفل فعلا نطق وقال أبي هو الراعي. الناس اتصدموا، الحق ظهر. The lie collapsed in a second after what happened. Everyone apologized to you and said they value your place made of gold and silver.
Of course, you refused and told them, "Just return him to me the way he was, whether made of mud or brick." I hope these stories are still new to you, and if not, I hope I have reminded you of them. And if you write to me about a story you did not know, then please don't forget to like and share. You are the real power behind every video spreading. Thank you very much, and I will see you in other stories, God willing.
أشكركم جدا وأشوفكم في قصص تانية إن شاء الله والسلام عليكم.